I don't have a single regret either. It's just really crazy.
Why do people say that? A lot of power in no.
Yeah, I don't know. And I also don't understand, like, the one thing I think about the most is that the thing that people said I would regret the most is skipping prom. I always think of that.
Oh, yeah.
You skipped prom.
Fuck yeah.
Why?
I fucking hate dances.
For the amount of times that you bring this story up, I think you do regret missing prom a little bit.
No, because we just brought it up again when we were talking about it.
Okay.
I hated prom because the main reason was just my relationship with my parents was like weird, where I didn't want them around other parents. And a big part of prom was where all the parents would get together and take pictures of all the kids. And like my parents were my parents weren't like the parents that were friends with the rest of the parents.
Right.
So they'd definitely be like the oddballs, like at like my friend Stephanie's house, who was like, pretty cool, and like all the parents knew each other because they all like fucked each other or something. Like the parents were weird in Greg's Landing. But like my parents would be out of the loop and they wouldn't have like friends there. So I just like didn't want to put them in that situation. So I was like, I'm never going to prom or a dance because like I don't want to witness that moment.
That's why you didn't go to prom, because you were embarrassed of your parents?
Yeah, that was like a big moment.
That's crazy.
That was like a big reason.
Your parents are so cool.
Yeah, they're the coolest.
They are the coolest.
But I just didn't want to be there for that moment. I don't know. I never wanted to see my parents uncomfortable. Like it was like a thing that's
Did you know that it's named after the pilot that was flying over and they crashed? You told a lie to your dad.
My parents telling the Greg's Landing
Greg's
story.
Landing.
You know how they named this place, right? There was Gregory and his wife Amy. They were going to Los Angeles. They probably said that this is probably the home he built. I don't know. But dude, people were like, you're going to fucking regret it. You're going to regret it. And not for a second. Not for a fucking second did I regret it.
I could have gone without prom.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't worth it.
How was your prom experience?
Wait, yeah. Who'd you go to prom with? I'm so curious.
I just went with a friend, but like, I remember senior year being super boring, and like, it was just about the pictures for me.
Yeah.
Senior year prom was the worst experience. Like a week before, my date ditched me, and I had to like find someone else.
Why'd he ditch you?
I guess it was a long story. He was like, hey, like, we just got to be friends. And I was like, what? And then one of my friends texted me and said.
This is a long story. Something about the anniversary of his grandfather Greg's
Landing.
No,
he brought someone else. He brought someone else. I remember being heartbroken.
So you were dating.
He took somebody else?
Yeah, it was really messed up.
Oh. Wait, what, Tay?
Yeah. It was really bad. So basically, we were like talking or whatever, and then he basically like one day was like, hey, we just need to be friends. But like this was like a week prior to prom, and I was like, weird, okay. And then he was like, yeah, and I already got my dress, like, yeah. And then like a week before, he was like my friend texted me and was like, did you know that he's taking somebody else? And I was like, what?
Damn.
And so I was last minute trying to find a date, and luckily it wasn't so hard.
Someone from the same school or someone else?
Oh no, same school,
wow.
And 2 grades younger.
Oh my god.
It was and they went in a different group. But
did you cry?
Yeah, I was pretty upset.
Oh my god, Taylor, that makes me really sad.
What was the backup like?
Oh, he was great. He was like my friend from like, I guess, yeah, he was my friend from high school.
You were hooking up with this guy?
Yeah.
With which one? The backup or the other guy?
No, the guy that ditched me.
Oh.
Yeah, it took me a while to forgive him.
I can hear the pain
and then
in
they
your
started
voice.
dating after.
Well, that's nice.
Then they broke up.
Who'd you go with, Joe?
A girlfriend and then a friend the next year.
Joe, you seem like the type of guy who would take his dog to prom.
I'd love that.
And wear like a funny matching tie with him.
Yeah.
And then the principal of the school is like, hey man, you can take the picture, but you can't stay for the dance.
And then we both leave.
And everyone's like talking about it for like the next like week, and you feel so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was me and my buddy Rex.
I'm the dog guy.
Yeah, Joe, you just give me like the vibe where like for yearbook pictures you'd like shave something funny into your beard.
Massapequa High School senior Joel Volpes had a different take on prom this year. He's bringing his golden doodle buck.
That is the exact vibe you give off. I went to go visit my hometown friends, and we are having this. What they brought up this thing, which I'd never even heard of. They all 3 of them well, two of them, Mike and Alex, jerk off on airplanes, and I never knew this was like a normal thing. I never knew this was a normal.
Wouldn't be a Views podcast without a.
No, I asked Alex, and I'm like, "Have you ever jerked off on an airplane?" Because we were talking about where we've jerked off.
Yeah.
Like that. This was our like 3 a.m. conversation.
Yeah.
And Alex was like, "I've jerked off on a flight before," and Mike goes, "Oh yeah, I would do it every time I." Or Mike goes, "I've jerked off on a flight before," and Alex goes, "Oh yeah, I can't do a flight without one." And I was like, "What the fuck?" He says he doesn't remember the last time he's flown where he hasn't jerked off, and he's visited me like 4 times in the last 2 years. So it's not like he doesn't fly a lot. That's fucking insane. He's saying like the altitude, like he has to jerk. Like I understand you get hornier on flights.
I've never heard of that.
No.
No.
Okay, because Joe.
I've never done it or heard of it either.
Oh,
Never
that's-
even
okay.
had sex on an airplane.
Well, I think that's a little more crazy, but like but when they were telling me that they
I
jerk,
don't. I think having sex with someone makes more sense than going in there and.
just doing it yourself.
Yeah.
No, when they were telling me that they jerk off on the airplane, they were looking at me like I was the weird one, and I felt weird. I felt attacked. I was like, wow, I can't believe I'm the odd one out in this story.
Did you
And then I
say?
even lied to them, and I was like, yeah, I jerk off, just to cover my own ass.
You did take a flight back home.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I did, and then the next day I flew back here. It was so funny. I was
No wonder
flying.
he's in a good mood when he comes to see you.
Yeah, I was flying back here from Chicago. I was like really late to my flight, and it was like, it's the holidays. Alex is super gullible. He's really easy to convince of things. And he's like, dude, you're gonna miss your fucking flight. He's like freaking out, and I'm like, oh, dude, it's chill. I'm flying Jabawi Airlines. Like, it's so nice. And he goes, oh yeah, that sounds awesome. and like a good 3 minutes went by, and I was like, dude, did you think I was serious about Jabawi Airlines? And he's like, yeah, is that not real? And I'm like, no. And he's like, well, I don't know what you fucking fly. He was like really pissed. There was one time. There's this place. This is when we were younger. There was this place in my hometown. There's like different towns, like neighborhoods, and one is called Greg's Landing. And we were driving through it, and I told him, I was like, "Do you know the story of why they call them this? Why they call it this?" And he's like, "No." And I was like, "There was this man once. He was a pilot, and he was flying from New York to L.A. But the gears weren't working in his aircraft, and he had to come down and crash. And his name was Gregory, and he was with his wife Amy, and they crashed right here in Vernon Hills. And they didn't have enough supplies to continue the journey, so they just set up homes here, and they started building homes here, and that's why they call it Greg's Landing. And he believed that story for like a couple years. He believed that story, and that was really nice.